What is going on, fam? I am Jaye the Black here, back with another video. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. This video is going to be about Keri Hilson, the singer, songwriter, who has found it very difficult to find a man to be in a relationship with. Not just get married to, but be in a relationship with. And we're going to talk about that. Somebody with, the potential that she has shown. And the fact that she has her looks, it's not like she doesn't have that. She has the resources to go anywhere around the country to find a suitable guy, but she is not doing so well. And we're going to get into that. But I want to make sure that people understand the purpose of my content and why I make videos like this. I make red pill content. I'm the type of person who makes videos based on the behaviors of people, and I flip that behavior to show a reflection of what you're doing and how it reflects or how it affects your dating life. And the same could be said for Keri Hilson. Now, apparently, I'm not 100% sure, but she was married once, I believe in 2002. That is what is recorded. I'm not necessarily sure if that is true, but she is said to have been married once, and maybe that has affected her, but I'm not really sure about that. But apparently she may have been married once to a guy, to a certain guy. I'm not really gonna put a name out there because I'm not 100% sure, but be that as it may, she has her start to her blossoming career. She had a lot of potential early on, around 2008, 2009. She actually released an album called No Boys Allowed. She released the album No Boys Allowed, which is very ironic because of what this video is going to be titled. And after she released that, shortly after, she started dating Serge Ibaka, NBA player. Okay. She started dating Serge Ibaka. All right. And they dated for a couple of years, and apparently it didn't work out. There may have been some infidelity. They have took multiple breaks from each other. There are some people who are saying that because Serge is from the Congo, African country, that his family may have wanted him to marry someone of the continent. Okay. Or maybe a white woman. Be that as it may, man. It may have been a situation where she didn't fit into the plans long term, even though you look at their ages, and she's 36, and right now she's 36 and he's 30. But when they were dating, he was in his early 20s, she was in her late 20s into her 30s. That could have played a part into it. The guy was young. He was still in the early stages of his NBA career, even though Serge looks older than his age, because I was actually surprised, because you never know. Some of these guys might be lying by their age, but apparently, she's 6 years older than him. And when they started dating, he was still in his early 20s, and he was still in a stage of where he wanted to go out and play the field. And he may not have took that relationship with Keri Hilson very seriously. I mean, when you're 23, 24, would you? But again, maybe time changes people once they get older and mature. That's why I say a lot of people, especially athletes, okay, should not date until they're in their 30s or after their career is over. But anyway, apparently she had a no athlete policy. Keri Hilson had a no athlete policy, but she still decided to date Serge Ibaka. Well, that after a couple of years, that relationship completely fizzled, and people said that she looked very happy with the guy. In the pictures I saw with him, she did look very happy with him. She found somebody that fit her specific qualifications. Now, this is what she was looking for. She said that she was looking for a guy that was, I quote, loyal and respects women. And it wasn't about him being an NBA player. It was about the fact that she found somebody that was a good person, that was God-fearing, that was loyal, that respects women. But the guy is 6'10". He plays in the NBA. That doesn't play no part into it, huh? That the fact that he's an NBA player and he's 6'10", that doesn't play any part into it, right? Okay. Well, that relationship fizzled out, and she ended up dating another athlete, an NFL player by the name of Ricardo Lockett. Okay, former Seattle Seahawk. She started dating him. Now, this relationship to me seems a bit weird because as soon as they went public with the relationship was over. Now, you would think that Keri had learned her lesson from dating one athlete who, when she had a whole, not to date list with pro athletes being on it, and she ended up dating another athlete. Was it very interesting is that the dude looked very similar to Serge Ibaka. So she definitely has a type that she really did not want to admit to, but she does. Okay. But the whole situation was weird because the relationship started and ended kind of quickly to the point to where they're sending subliminal messages to each other on social media. Now, Ricardo went public first, and he said this, and this is according to Newsweek. Okay. He said this: I want to inspire people. I want someone to look at me and say, because of you, I didn't give up. Lockett wrote in his breakup announcement, to be continued. Wish you the best. And apparently this guy tagged the Shade Room, Baller Alert, and MTV. So yes, we know that Lockett, this guy, Ricardo Lockett, probably cared nothing for her at all. He was looking for some clout, some attention. But he got what he wanted. And I think it was because she was on the rebound. She was looking for somebody to fill that void in her life. And she ended up choosing the wrong type of guy. Now, this is why, again, at Keri Hilson, you have to choose better. You cannot get into a situation where you are dealing with a guy who's with you because of who you are. Because that is going to have you in more, I don't want to say harder, but in more stress than anything else. Now, he tried to make it seem like it was amicable, but to her, it wasn't, because I believe he broke up with her, or she wanted the relationship to be broken up privately and he went public. Maybe I truly believe she realized that she made a huge mistake, And she even posted this on Twitter. She said, a mistake is usually the word people prefer to use when it was really a risk that they decided to take. She tweeted. And he ended up responding to that by saying, LOL, wish you the best. And never any shade, always love and the utmost respect for you. Every day was a blessing, #queen. I think this guy was looking to win points with other women. And I think he used Keri in order to get brownie points from other women, which is sad that, a grown man would do that. But again, you have to choose the right guys. You cannot go out here choosing a guy because he looks like your ex, because he's an athlete. This whole I don't date athletes list, I think it was BS, to be honest with you. I think a lot of those chicks talk about how they're not going to date athletes and end up dating them because that's actually who they want to date. It's like they want to portray themselves as the opposite of what other women are doing, but they're just like those other women. And you would think that Keri wouldn't fall for that and wouldn't be that, but that's what has happened. Now, she ended up, after this situation, sometime after this, maybe close to a couple of months or maybe almost a year, there was a guy on Twitter, right? There's a guy on Twitter that tweeted her about going into her DMs, and she ended up posting this. She ended up posting that her DMs were only for the white boys. Come back later, and she had up a fist. He had up a black fist emoji, just very condescending, and it just shows where her mindset was. She was very, in that moment, bitter towards black men, when really I think that she needs to look herself in the mirror and see why her relationships didn't work out. Your relationship didn't work out because you continue to try to choose the same type of guys, and those guys rejected you for the most part. They wanted nothing to do with you. And I think that bothered her in that moment. Now, maybe she was angry and bitter, but to this day, I don't think she's been with a white guy. I think that she was just hurt. And instead of her really internalizing why she's single, why no man wants to date her, why these guys keep leaving her, why they don't want to marry her, she should really take an in-depth view of herself, because she has the resources to go around the country, go around the world to find a guy that she wants. And to me, I think she wants what the majority of females these days want. They want these athletes, these rappers, these entertainers, and they want nothing less. You can find a God-fearing man. You can find a guy who you think is loyal, who you think respects women. But I guess he has to bounce a basketball and be 6'7" to 6'8", because Ricardo Lockett was about 6'4". So she has a type, and when that type doesn't want her back, I think it messed with her emotions and her ego, because I'm pretty sure she has an ego. But until you can look internally into yourself and figure out what's going on, you're going to constantly be in these situations, these internal battles. You're going to constantly be frustrated to where you have to put up tweets saying that your DMs are just for the white boys, when you ain't got with one white boy yet. Now, I will say this, though. There's a rumor, allegedly last year, that she was dating a female. Okay. I haven't been able to confirm it, but they're saying that all around Atlanta, she's going around with this female, that they're a couple. Would it really surprise you? I mean, if you really think about it, would it really surprise you that these females, go that route when the relationships with men don't work out, because they refuse to really hold themselves accountable and really just stick to what they feel like will make them happy? Stop trying to date a guy because he's a certain height or he's in a certain profession. I just think that Keri Hilson does have a lot to offer. She seemed like a nice person, very attractive woman. She still has her looks, but at the end of the day, those looks are going to fade. Then what do you have? Because obviously you don't have enough to make these guys want to stay.